Our today's question is Leetcode 36. It is valid Sudoku. It is a medium level of problem and it consists of topics such as array, hash table and matrix. And it is asked in companies in last previous 6 months, which are Apple and Amazon. So let's read out our question. You will be getting it more clear. Here it is said to be determine a 9x9 Sudoku board is valid or not. Only the fixed cell need to be validated according to following rules. That means here you are given a 9x9 matrix Sudoku and we have to check this given cells, the field cells are valid or not. According to following rules, each row must contain the digit 1 to 9 without repetition. Each column must contain the digit 1 to 9 without repetition. And each of the 9 3x3 sub boxes of grid must contain the digit 1 to 9 without representation. That means here we are said that this column must contain digit from 1 to 9 and they can't be repeated. This row, each single row must contain digit from 1 to 9 and they can't be repeated. And here our third case is this 3x3 blocks means this 3x3 matrix must contain numbers or digit from 1 to 9 and that should not be repeated. We have to satisfy all these three cases and we have to obtain our solution. Then it is said that in our note a Sudoku board could be validated but it is not partially solved, not necessarily solved. That means we have to check only this field cells are valid or not, and this empty space can be represented by a string dot, or we don't have to check these empty spaces here. We have to only check the cells which are filled. Only the cells need to be validated according to the mentioned rule. The thing is that only I have said. So here we check number 5 is valid or not in both rows and column and in this 3x3 cell. Yes, it is valid. Then we will be checking for number 3. It appears in second column or first row, no. Or 3x3 first block, yes, it is valid. Similarly, we will be checking for each and every element present in this example and we will return a boolean result which is true, either true or false here. So we have confirmed, checked, our Sudoku is true, so we have returned a true value as our output. Similarly, in our example 2, we will be drawing a Sudoku matrix of 9x9 and we will be putting its value. We will be filling cells, empty cells by dot or string, and we will be returning by checking or it satisfy our three cases or not, and we will be returning our output in the form of boolean expression which are either true or false. So let's write our code. You will be getting it more clear.
In our code, we will be declaring an order string which is seen, which will be keeping track of our all the elements in our Sudoku board. We will be writing a for loop for our element present in our Sudoku board. We will be writing two for loops. First for loop for our outer elements which are rows, for which we will be initializing a variable I equal to 0 and its range will be I smaller than 9. It will be checking all the element from 0 to 9 index and it will be incrementing it. Similarly, we will be writing a for loop for our inner loop elements, for which or columns for which we will be initializing a variable j equal to 0, and which means our j will be at 0 index and we will be providing its range j should be smaller than 9. Until that, we will be incrementing our j variable. A character current is initialized at the position I, j on the Sudoku board. If our current cell in our Sudoku board is not empty, then we will be simply returning a true value. Now we will be constructing a string row key equal to row, which means it represents the current position of our element in a row, plus toString. That means we will be taking a integer or a digit and converting it into our string, plus empty string plus our current element or cell. If our scene already has a row key value, then we will be returning a false value, because for example, in our 3x3 box, if we have considered a digit which is already present, then we can't take the same digit or the same row key value again, so we have to return a false value. If the current digit is not found in the set scene, it means it is valid. So it insert a row key into a set to mark it as seen. We will copy the same thing for our column key, but we will be replacing the position of row key with column key. String box key equal to box. We will be representing the current box position in our 3x3 sub box. We will be doing this by dividing our string by 3, for which we will be dividing our I by 2, I by 3, and our string j by 3, by adding them all with our current value, and all this value will be stored in our box key. Now we will be writing a return statement for our code. We will be returning a true value if our Sudoku is valid. While reviewing our code, we have got some error. Here we have not initialized our index value of j equal to 0. Then here we have, when we are copying, instead of underscore we have given a minus sign, so we will be fixing all the three signs and running our code. Our code is accepted for all the cases. Now we will be submitting our code.